What is going on, you guys? This is the Cloud9 Podcast, Season 2, Episode 16. So, the LEC and the LCS 2022 Spring Splits will begin this month, actually. Lock in will begin around the 20th. I think the LEC is beginning around the 14th, actually. So I know we haven't really had much content for you guys this last past couple of weeks, actually. Well, I said it in the last show, that we would be taking the rest of the, month off because, there's not really much to talk about anything, honestly, unless you factor in like the Demacia Cup, and that's pretty much it, honestly. And I remember I was watching the Demacia Cup, and FPX and Top Esports, made it to the finals, actually. So I guess that's pretty exciting considering the fact that, FPX literally just rebuilt their entire roster. And then I think the LPL YouTube channel was actually releasing all of the mini little documentaries on all the top
Yeah,
LPL teams. Those were actually really good. I was gonna
yeah.
actually react to some of them
Well,
actually.
why? That's what I wanted to ask. So, why did like the LCS and like the main league channel stop doing those type of things? Those
I
were like the
think
best parts.
I think the YouTube channels of their teams do it still, because like what Team Liquid still does it, Cloud9 still does it, TSM still do it, but they do it on like their own personal YouTube channels, or
Yeah,
else 100
but
Thieves
not
does it
as
too.
much of it though, or
The
as good
LCS
quality.
just doesn't. Yeah, like the LCS just doesn't do that anymore. Maybe doing that they realize brings so much negative press to the teams, but it's like, we need that kind of content. Like when the LPO were releasing those mini documentaries on EDG, FPX, LNG, Suning, Top.
Mhm.
Also, these are pretty good. I was gonna actually react to those, like I think about a few days before the season starts, because I really wanted to like watch them fully in depth. Because remember the argument that Carson was having with like 369? Like if that was in the LCS, oh my god, Carson would be banned for being toxic. I kid
Damn.
you not. Actually, that'd be true. Like that'd be
Yeah,
true. Actually,
yeah.
so.
Or in like Vietnam, you know, like fucking what was it again? That
Mhm.
player like Zero or something, like the top laner who played for like Flash Wolves or something,
Mhm.
or Ponvu Buffalo in like 2018 in Group A.
I remember that
Like,
guy. Yeah, I remember that
yeah,
guy.
this
Yeah.
year at MSI, like after his team lost in the finals, and then he said something along. I forgot what he said exactly. He said something just like, "I hope they don't go." Or something, and then they, because of the COVID stuff, which they didn't, and he got banned for life for it.
He got banned for life for
Yeah,
that.
fucking, so yeah, NA and like Vietnam or whatever, fucking soft, I guess.
Yeah, like that's the thing with like the LCS, is that it appears that people are just very soft, because like, but I don't know if you want to have the European approach either, where like you're so blunt with each other, it just mentally breaks down everybody. I don't know which way works, honestly. I just don't know what way works. The European way, where you just are so blunt to each other and you're so fucking honest with each other, it just breaks everyone down mentally at a certain point. Like a lot of those European teams that ended up doing well for like a little bit ended up just like mentally collapsing, like toward the very end of their run during that year that they were doing good. H2K, Origin, Fnatic, when they had their like rosters with like a lot of strong personalities, that ended up happening a lot too. I think it just depends like on how you deal with situations, though, because people have to realize that when you're playing league,
Hmm.
you are like not under a coaching thing, because you watch hockey. I've you grew up with traditional sports too, remember, right? So
Uh-huh.
how like you have a coach that like indoctrinates you and teaches you like this is
Yeah.
how you do certain things. League doesn't have that, so it's the wild
Hmm.
west about how you coach players.
Yep,
Because I
and
had a
they
coach,
players need
and
to respect the coaches more in league.
that'll never happen though, because the thing
I
here is,
mean, the one guy said over time it might be resolved when they get older.
but that's the thing. When you're a little kid and you have a coach, you listen to the coach because, well, he's obviously the adult, and your parents say, hey, listen to your elders, listen to your coach if you're in traditional sports, and then it plants those seeds in your head to the
And that's
point
the
where you
difference with
already listen.
Eastern and Western teams, because Eastern, that's like in their like,
Mhm. It's literally
culture and stuff.
indoctrinated into them, like
Yeah,
you
that
listen
and
to your
like to be
elders.
perfect and to be perfectionists and stuff. So that's the that's why they're so good at league, and why like Western is more good at stuff like shooters.
Western World. That's the thing. Like a lot of people still think the West still has hope to win Worlds. Guys, I'm just being honest with you guys. West isn't
Hey,
winning Worlds anytime
listen,
soon.
they could, but it would not be because they're the best team. I can tell you that.
Like you would literally have to have like a G2 roster back in like 2019, and that was like the best shot the West had a chance of winning,
Yeah, and
and they
a lot of
still
luck
didn't win.
still went their way to get the finals and
Yeah,
to win MSI.
yeah, like the most that they could do was win MSI, where they did play really well at
Yeah.
that MSI event. But then when you look at Worlds 2019, they even still made the finals and they still didn't win
Yeah,
it.
they're
You know?
realistically world like the third best team in the world at MSI and Worlds. Just a lot of luck winning their way to make
Well, to be
finals
fair,
at
to be
Worlds.
fair, they did beat SKT, and SKT was like what the second best team at the
Yeah,
event.
because they're fucking choke artists.
Well, to be fair, SKT were playing way too slow. I remember you were watching back
Yes.
then. I said they were playing way too slow.
No,
G2
they're
just gonna
playing
blow them
like
out.
They were playing like idiots. They didn't capitalize on things. That was the thing.
And then IG just went and lost to TL, so
Uh huh.
TL just get a free pass to the
And then
finals.
Worlds, they got like the easiest side of the bracket, and then
No, dude, they had
SKT.
Damwon. They had Damwon and SKT. People thought
Damn one was not that good at the time. MSK.
that's. I mean, Kenyon and Showmaker were still pretty darn good. I'll say that.
Yeah,
That's
they
the best I
weren't
can
at
say.
their anywhere near their
They were
peak at
ranked.
the
They were
time.
they were like Kaioken in Dragon Ball Z. They
Uh,
were Kaioken, and
and
then
they
in the
were
next worlds they became Super Saiyans.
Yeah, however, they weren't good at that Worlds, and then SKT, same SKT, just choking on that cock.
Yeah, like
And
it's
then
the
they
thing
brought
is,
in what Mata for game
well, you
4.
okay, that was trolling. The fact that they brought in Mata, that was trolling actually.
Uh,
Like the thing here is like that G2 roster back in 2019 was like the West's best shot at winning a world's title. They still didn't win it because even they knew like at some point they were kind of getting a little bit of luck because of the other teams just kind of not performing up to expectations. To be fair, also that year FPX were also dominating the LPL for a little bit there as well, because toward the very end they managed to, get a title when they beat RNG in the finals and they came as the first seed, that year for the LPL. So that's the thing, man. Is like I told you this. I don't think the West is gonna win Worlds anytime soon. It's just not gonna happen, man. Like the other players are just too good. Like even if they're like is comparable players to the people we have, their best players just outbeat ours by like a shitload of miles. It's really not that close, honestly. Like that's just how it works. That's the thing, guys. It's just the nature of competition. That's just always how those things go. But, this year we have the LEC 2022 spring split starting up very, very soon. And there's a
hmm
few topics covering the teams with the stacked rosters, which would be Fnatic later on we'll talk about. Then we also have Vitality. Now, as you guys already know, the LEC for Worlds 2021, I mean, they didn't really look that good. The teams they set were Fnatic, Rogue, and what, Mad Lions, right?
They were the worst major region, and you're capping if you think otherwise.
But dude, they're better than LCK.
God.
Like,
Yeah, that's not to say obviously that like EU isn't better overall still than NA, obviously not, but just if you don't think they played worse this year at
they
Worlds, then you're
played
fucking
so
delusional.
they played
Mad
so
was like the
bad.
worst team in their group. They shouldn't have got out. Fnatic, like you can say whatever you want about upset, but either way they played like shit. And then
Yeah.
fucking Rogue got lost to C9, alright?
Okay, so like Rogue going in, like I knew Rogue weren't gonna get out. Like Rogue were a bad. They started out. Rogue is such a weird a team to talk about. Like they started out good at the beginning part of the year, and they just started doing good. They're just good overall. But they never went past their peak. If that makes sense, though, they
Honestly, the
never like
best way to describe them was the Damn One team, where they have like an old, still sort of solid like support. Sorry, I mean top laner, and then the rest of the team is really younger and good mechanically, but the difference being is they're like a lower ceiling version of Damn One.
they had a really good early game though. They had the by stats, didn't they have like the best early game in the LEC this past year? Like they literally had like
Maybe
the best early
mostly
game.
because of Hansama, probably.
But that's the thing with all these Otawamne team, is like you remember the H2K teams? Every Ottawamne team is always really good at early game because they can never team fight properly. Then when they get into team fights, they always fail. And that's the thing is Rogue were a solid, good team, but none of the players, or at least the roster itself, never like excelled past that point. Like you knew that Inspired was good, you knew that Larson was good, you knew that Hansama was good, Trimby was okay, Ottawamne was okay, but they never got past a certain point where they ever evolved past that. Like if they didn't win early game, they massively fucking just were lost. They just didn't really know what to do at all. Like also that's the thing with Hansama is a lot of people are like talking about how great he's going to be in the LCS, and I think he's going to do fantastic. But the issue here with Hansama is that he's really never excelled at anything more than like 3 champions though. Like
Yes, he has a one-dimensional playstyle. He's amazing at it, but
you know, if there's a meta for like Lucian, Draven, Zaya, then yeah, I can see him doing really well. But if there's a utility meta like Ashe, Jhin, what's Sivir's utility,
yeah.
I don't see him doing well actually. You know,
and you know, for like the one other person on who watches this channel who watches hockey as well, the best way to describe it is like you have like a fucking offensive like sniper forward, but who doesn't know how to do anything else, so doesn't know how to play defense or anything. That's Hansama, but he's amazing at it if you put him with a good team.
So I wanted to ask you this: why do you think Mad Lions didn't really get like as much praise as if G2 and Fnatic were to win titles this past year in 2021? Because remember, Mad Lions won both back-to-back titles. They finished top 4 at MSI, top 8 at Worlds. Pretty good for like a new organization, right? Pretty good, right? It seems like no one cares though.
I think I don't think it's. I think it's more just like the entire year in LEC, just like
The level was the level of gameplay was down.
No, I'd say about like old teams were about on the same level. There wasn't really like a leader, like a front top tier team at all year, honestly. And they were expecting, you know, different orgs to like reach that level that didn't, unlike Mad and Rogue.
So like a lot of people have said that like you know, G2 and other rosters like Rogue didn't really play to their peak. That's the reason why Mad won. I don't agree with that because like in their gameplay, Mad were good at a lot of things. It's just like it came off as sloppy, but it still got them the wins. But they're really good at team fighting, and that's the thing is like I think we had a show earlier last year where I was saying, but Mad Lions is the best team right now in the LEC by far by the end of the summer split for last year for the LEC because like I didn't really see any team that could beat them. That's why I knew that Mad Lions would beat them. You know, they would beat Fnatic in that finals that they had. The fact that Fnatic even made the finals last year for the summer split, the LEC 2021 summer split is ridiculous. That is insane.
Mm-hmm.
Like they were not good. They were they started out good and then became worse. And then I don't know what happened with the other teams. They just became progressively
it was a TSM 2020, except you know, Mad didn't let them win.
Like okay,
dog shit team that somehow made the run.
I will say this: they did do well against G2. Like every game against G2, they were the better team, especially at the early game. The only games that G2 really won was the games that Fnatic just threw the entire game away. Like Fnatic literally had to throw the entire game away for G2 to actually win some of them. Now against Rogue, Fnatic just beat the shit out of Rogue. I mean, pretty much everyone predicted that. I mean, Rogue really massively fell apart, you know, toward the very end of the summer split. And I don't think they really ever mentally recovered from losing the LEC 2021 spring split, actually, when they lost to Mad Lions, though. I think if they had won, I don't think they ever mentally recovered, honestly.
Yeah, honestly, I wish they won that looking back on. I wanted like both of them and Mad to win a split that year.
Like, they really should have won spring. They threw away their title themselves.
God.
Like I just don't think throughout the year they ever got over that because you always constantly think, man, that was my one chance to win a title, and then they just lost it. And like, how do you get over that as a player though? Like, how do you get over that? You're in the finals, you made it to the very end, you're about to win the thing that solidifies your career to everybody. You're in the history books as a champion, and then you just throw it away after a terrible team fight. Because remember, they were like 10,000 gold up. They had Baron. They were on the inhibitors, and then they lost the game. And then the same thing happened with Mad Lions at Worlds this past year, right? When LNG were on their inhibitors, Icon just, you know, I don't know what he's trying to do, throw his chance in the way of having a job. and then Mad Lions make it to quarters. So like I just don't know honestly when it
Mm-hmm.
comes to that. Like, what is with some of these EU teams and they just choke at the last minute? Like, you know they're good teams, you know they're good players, but they just fail at the very last minute every single time. They fail all the time at the last minute, even in their own region of teams that are supposed to be good. Like Rogue were power ranked to win the split actually last year, because people said, well, if Fnatic and G2 don't win the title, then there's Rogue and Mad Lions that could easily contest for that. Rogue get to the finals and they still can't do it. Then there's a chance for them to get out of the group this past year, and they still can't even do that because
I'm glad they got that group. They deserved it. They didn't not deserve to get an advancement there.
The fact that they skipped the play-ins is astonishing.
Yeah, it's dumb.
I've heard they skipped the play-ins because I've heard the VCS team didn't get a chance to go. They probably would have got knocked out.
Yeah, I'm not saying this. I'm not saying this as just because Cloud9 missed Worlds last year. I would say the same this year with TSM, but they should have just made the other two regions have an extra seat if VCS have been coming instead of just changing up the whole fucking playing format. Isn't that easier?
See, remember what we were talking about last year was like if you play well in the play-ins, you'll get picked up. Guys, I've said this. If you are like a wild card player like Doggo was in the, because he was in the TCL, right? He was on he was in the PCS,
PCS,
right?
yes.
He was on that
Beyond
other
Gaming.
team, Beyond Gaming. See, if you play well in the play-ins, people are looking at you. You will get picked up. It's happened like the past 3 years. The playing stage, people have gotten teams. Armut's one of them. Jose Diodo got a team. Doggo just got it. Doggo's going to be on BLG. So, hey, if you were a wild card player, play well at the playing stage. You will get picked
unless
up.
you're like Kaiwing or something, I guess.
I thought Kaiwing was good. I honestly thought Kaiwing could have got a team of the LCS at least. They gave Doggo. No, not Doggo. They gave his teammate, River. They gave River a team. He's going to be on Dignitas.
That should have been the support TSM should have picked up last year instead of Sword Art.
Sean, why do you hate Sword Art so much?
Kaiwing is just way better.
No, I agree. But like I don't think it was Sword Art's fault that TSM fell apart. It's one of those things where like he can only do so much. Like they had so many other issues with TSM. It's just not gonna really.
And I wish they would just like swap Wonder and Hero around on their teams, please.
For Fnatic?
Yes.
I think Hero did not get enough credit. Dude, the casters did Hero it so dirty last year when Misfits were facing off against Fnatic in that best of 5 to go to Worlds to advance the next round. These casters were sitting here like micro-analyzing freaking Niski's gameplay when Herod is literally 1v9 carrying.
I wonder why. Hey, I wonder why. Want to take a guess, MSK?
I do. Well, we know you wouldn't hyper focus on the Korean players. We know you wouldn't.
Yeah, it's like
you are a hater.
No, it's just like they don't want too many imports. So now when there's an import, they just don't give them any credit. They always do this shit.
Did anybody even watch Herod in that best of 5 against Misfits?
And they didn't watch him for the whole fucking year because they didn't rate him as one of the best tops.
Wait, I think we had him like when we were ranking our all pro teams for I think last split. He made our top pro teams. I think he made yours too.
Yeah, he was really number 1 for LEC.
He played really well.
I could see him. Listen, I will say
those 1v2 Jace kills, the Camille split pushing he was doing. He was amazing.
No, listen, I will say, I do think there's a good chance he could fall off with his certain play style and with the meta change next year. Either way, though, he was like easily at least top 2 in his role last year, and nobody gave him credit.
Guys. Don't talk to me about Adam
because he's an import. But yeah, no, just swap Wonder and Hero around, alright? Fucking get Hero off of that dog shit team, alright? Put Wonder where he belongs.
Why does Warren like Misfits? Misfits are garbage. VTO is trash. God, dude.
That off season, just fuck.
I thought they were actually gonna keep Vander, but apparently they're gonna run with some other person now, actually.
I'm fine with Vander as like a sub at this point in his career. But he's good still.
And that's my thing with Misfits, was that Misfits were not that good, actually. Like,
if VTO reached his ceiling and they had a different ADC other than like Kabe, then they would have made Worlds.
Yeah, Kabe definitely, like, he played a few good games in that Fnatic series, but he just wasn't that good overall. Like, him and Vander were such a lackluster bot lane. Like, they just did nothing. Vander outside of the lane was actually proactive and actually did things.
Just don't understand why they didn't keep Hansama.
Oh,
Like,
he probably wanted to leave. That's
yeah,
it.
well, it's
Contract was up. He was like, "Fuck this."
no,
shit,
it's
I'm
because
gone.
they like subbed him out, had him in like academy, and then he like left for Rogue later on. It's
Oh
like,
yeah, I
why
remember they had that super team that completely failed because their coaching staff was just trash.
Yeah, but it wasn't even much of a super team. It wasn't. Hansama was better at the time. Why did they sub him out?
Oh my god!
Oh
Remember
my god!
They played Dan and Leader and fucking fuck those guys' careers over.
Yeah, imagine if they had Hansama still, and VTO actually reached his ceiling. Imagine how good that team would be.
So what do you think they're gonna do? Like, I don't really see a world Misfits. Misfits even sometimes just miss playoffs for how bad and inconsistent they are. They're just
I want
really
Misfits
weird
to succeed. I mean, I don't like some of the people in their organization.
Why do you hate Deficio? What did he do to you?
No, not him. Some fucking crackheads and mostly the Overwatch side of their organization can go to hell, but other than that, I mean, yeah, I like Misfits. I want them to succeed, but
Dude,
I just don't
you
see
know
it.
me. I love G2. I'm always gonna support them, but I want the other orgs to succeed too. Dude, I was happy that Mad Lions won. I was happy. I was generally happy they won because
I had nothing against G2.
Win.
I
like,
felt bad for Reckless, but I just wanted to see new organizations at
I
Worlds.
just like, you know, like I'm not even one of those guys where I'm like, hey, I need a new team to win because, like, guys, if the new team is not good, then I don't want them winning anyway. But like, it's a good thing for the LEC to have teams like Mad Lions win. It shows that it can be possible. But this year, like, is everything going to revert back to normal? Because maybe last year was just an anomaly with the LEC. Maybe we're going to go back to this G2 and Fnatic just constantly being in the finals and winning titles consistently. Who knows?
Yeah,
But to be fair, G2's roster does not represent I win LEC material.
Yeah, I mean, if Caps rebounds, then they damn well could, because I mean, like,
so sure, let's talk about that.
ADC is a little weak though, but doesn't need that great of an ADC to win. We've seen it.
To be fair, unless you're Viper, you're not playing through the bot lane. Like,
yeah,
guys, unless you have like Viper or Guma UC, you're not playing through the bot lane. Just to be honest.
Yeah,
here.
But anyway, so Caps, you were saying? Oh, Fast and Furious outside. Okay. Yeah. By the way, though, I wanted to congratulate Tian on that finals for the tournament.
Oh, yeah.
He played amazingly. Did you see that?
Yeah. Hey, this will show you what happens if you get out of a toxic environment that you're not happy in.
Yeah, you play. That was the best.
Actually good.
Those were the best games ever he's ever played for FPX. Oh my god.
Oh, dude, like, I haven't seen him play that good since the World's Finals in 2019. I haven't seen him play that good at all.
Yeah, you missed a joke, MSK. God, no, he did play better than usual, but no, he didn't play that good. I'm joking, MSK. He played good for FPX.
I know. I was trying to go on with the joke. Shonda doesn't like.
I said it. No, because then I said it, but then it's like you kept going along with it and missed.
I wanted to just keep it going.
Oh, fuck. Okay, that's.
It looks like a clown, so.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, I'll take the L on that one.
I hate you so much. I hate you.
Hey, well, listen.
I mean, let's be honest here. Tian couldn't see his jungle pathing anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
What the fuck? Anyway,
you said, okay, Caps. So this is my thing, dude, with Caps. Caps played really well in the playoffs. I genuinely think he played well in the playoffs. But during the regular season, he looked so bad, actually. He just looked bad overall. Like, I guess you could say, oh, well, in the playoffs, it matters more. So, obviously doing well in the playoffs is going to matter because that is a chance of winning a title. But, like, I don't think Caps is this, like, untouchable monster like a lot of people are, like, that a lot of people have made him out to be. I think that you can't.
He never was.
But, like, when he was at his peak, no one was really going to touch him.
No, people touched him all over the place. Touched him everywhere. He was overrated as fuck. 2018, he was literally like the worst mid laner in the top 8, outside of some like flashy plays like on like Azir and stuff. 2019, he was amazing. I'm not gonna lie, but Perks was better. All right, he was not the best on his team, and there were way better, mid laners. All right, 2020 he played like a fucking clown. 2021 he played like a fucking clown.
So and that's my thing is like outside of the playoffs this past year in 2021, Caps has not looked that good or like the untouchable monster that everyone made him out to be. Now you have mid laners like Larson, Humanoid. They can definitely give it to him. But that's the thing here is in the last playoff series that Caps and Humanoid face each other, Caps destroyed that guy. Caps literally beat the shit out of him.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like, I don't know how
mechanically, he's easily the best, but he has a small brain,
It's a small brain, Jesus Christ. So, like, Warren, let me ask you, what do you think about Caps? Because Caps came in, LEC, dominated, and then now you look past in this past year, he didn't really do anything, honestly. But he's still mechanically good. That's the thing. It's like I don't blame G2 for not getting rid of him. It's just like I don't know how to say it. It's just more like you're not really fearful of Caps anymore, which is a weakness inherently to G2. Is that wrong to say?
Yes, because the thing is that what made G2 good was they had like a triple threat in a sense, right? So you know what you're getting with Caps, but then there'd be a game where like Jankos could pop off. Like I think he had like one Italy game, and Wonder could be that guy that could play the carry and would pop off and have pretty consistent games. And then you had but then you had Reckless, who isn't a pop-off risk taker. So, like, when the other three pieces aren't performing to their, like, optimal level, of course it's going to show, like, the weaknesses of Caps. Because I wouldn't say he's a 40-60 player. He'll take the 40 play because he knows he's going to get the big reward, right? Even though the 60%, he might lose it, right? But oftentimes he wins the 40%. But when you don't have that consistency, you end up just floundering. Like when I saw they were struggling against teams like
Astralis,
and Vitalis, which I thought should be like in sports games, there's wins that teams should get. G2 was having hard times, or they might lose to that team. I don't think I think Caps, when you have a guy like Broken Blade, who's going to be, I'm not sure if you talked about the team. When you got to have a guy like Broken Blade, and then Jankos is consistent with jungling, you have a consistent player. Like, even though Broken Blade was on Schalke, he was just a consistent player, played any champ, whatever you needed. So Caps will be able to exploit what he did before, right? So I wouldn't say that he is a bad player. I just think that he didn't have a team to flourish with. Because let's be honest, G2 was garbage as an entire team. Like the whole point, the whole purpose of G2 it was a super team, and that was consistent for years, and then it just became really bad. Like
the fact that
I wouldn't say they're bad. If you told me
at the beginning of last year that they only win maybe two best of fives in the fucking playoffs for both splits, they won I think they won maybe one or two best of fives between the playoffs between both splits last year. If you told me they only won two best of fives, I'd call you nuts. I'd be like, how? Explain to me how that even is a possible thing. But it goes to show you, if you don't like the teammates that you're around, it shows in your gameplay. It's just, I think Caps could bounce back this year. I think it's very possible because maybe last year was just an anomaly. Maybe he goes back to being the best mid laner in the LEC because he still played really well in the playoffs. It wasn't like this guy's trash. It's not like this guy's fucking like pole belter level, right? It's not like he's golden blue. I don't know what really happened. Maybe this year the meta will be more favorable to him. Because he needs to be a much more smarter player though. Because remember in one of the Mad Lions games earlier this year in the playoffs, where he was playing LeBlanc and he literally had the game in his hands and he kept jumping in and getting one shot when he didn't need to. That's also cost him a series there. So that's just my thing overall. with G2. When we'll cover them in just a moment because I have you guys here for this because we're gonna instead of doing those power right rankings, I try to always kind of switch it up. You know what I mean? We're gonna be doing a tier list for the LEC actually. Let's put these guys into a tier list for the 2022 spring split coming up.
Oh God!
And I'm gonna have the rosters fully laid out for you guys who are watching on playback or right now because it'd be much more easier to have all the rosters and show them. So let me hit show all players. All the rosters are figured out now, and then we'll be putting the teams into lists between A, B, C, D. Yeah, that's fine. All right, so we have tier list right here. But yeah, so what are you guys going to be doing for? You have any league goals this year? Actually, hitting a certain rank or?
Oh yeah, I'm definitely shooting for gold.
Okay.
And again, I don't really play the game, so
You watching dirty hockey?
Actually, yeah. I found out if you wanted to be like a cute, well, for my remember the job, the career that I'm not a job, the career that I'm going for.
Yeah.
If I want to like be a part of their QA team, I have to be diamond.
Really? Oh shit, that's nice.
So that means I actually have to grind.
Warren having to grind. Oh my god, Warren's gonna rage out at us later on, actually.
I mean, I'm in the game right now, so it's fine.
Okay, give me a sec. Let me pull up the LEC 2022 team tier list and have us rank them.
Or you could join 100 Thieves, say you're a girl, then you'll just get signed.
Oh my god, Sean.
No, I could easily buy an account, but like I'm sure they're gonna find out and look and ask questions, so it's like
and they're going to be like, oh my god, a black guy not doing the hard work, just going into our narratives.
Hey, I'm some Asian girl. I made like a TikTok video one time. Okay, you're hired. Welcome to 100 Thieves.
That's fine. Okay, before we go in doing this, Sean wants to talk about something happened with Thorin, actually. I caught the little gist of it, honestly. Some about a women's league. He got mad at her or some shit.
There's like women's league starting up in like a game or so, and then this one guy, like Richard, another guy, and then him, like, fucking got so mad over it for whatever reason, and just started going like, full idiotic sexist mode.
I remember because you sent me what he said. He was like, I am esports. I built this industry. Because, okay, like, here's what I'll say, guys. You know how everyone says, like, there's a lot of gatekeeping in fucking esports? Like, I am Jerm on Twitter. He's always talking about that there's gatekeeping in esports. Guys, I literally had I had video game experiences. I played video games since I was a little fucking kid, but I didn't really know what esports was until League of Legends. I literally just entered. Then, you know how I knew about League of Legends? I did my history, and I went back and watched every single thing or watched videos explaining what League was. I watched stuff on the LPL. I watched stuff on the LCK. I watched stuff on Europe, NA. I watched how everything was formed to make sure I had the general base knowledge about what happened in the past, because I started when Worlds 2014, so I started in season 4, and then I just took that knowledge and then applied that to every single year. There's no such thing as gatekeeping in a lot of things. You just have to go put in the work and learn the history of the game.
There is some.
I'll say that, but that's like in terms of like hiring, like that's in like jobs in esports. I would say if you want to just get into base entry.
No, there is if you heard some stories. They're talking about like with females, like the difficulty.
You mentioned that with Malice too, with Malice joining C9 because of having a friendship with LS. But like, to be fair, dude, that's work. It's what's the comment saying with the workforce? It's not about what you know, it's about who you know. That's just how it is. Like,
it's about who you know. It's also like
this is no different. But like when he said,
like there are literally DDoSers for like years from 2013 to like 2017 who literally fucking harassed, DDoSed, like Inted got accounts banned of every like female player almost, trying to get them to quit the game. Got most of them too.
Like I wouldn't even mind if there's a female league, because I don't care personally if there's a female league. Like, guys, I don't
understand why you would care, because people are like, okay, well, okay, listen, it was cool like in the past, when like just a female, works their way up and stuff. Like that was cool to see. But that happened like 3 times over like 10 years across every esports game. There's a reason for it. Okay, listen. So people are like, oh, it's gonna improve like quantity, but it's not gonna improve quality. It's like, no, because with all the toxicity and everything, they would have been scared away. With this now they're not, and they're gonna showcase their skill. Like, no, this can be used as like LEC regional leagues, development leagues, and then they can get on actual teams. Like, no, this doesn't diminish the quality. This is the opposite. It does both. Like, and I don't understand
Yeah.
why you would just be so angry over this, making their own leagues.
It can do both. Like, because let's be honest here, they're not going to play in the men's league. They're not going to play in that. They'd have their own shit. Now, my thing is, I don't care if they play. That's not my thing. But is there any general interest in that kind of thing big enough? Like if it was just for dudes? Because remember, like, would other female league players watch other female league teams play? That's my thing. Because girls would watch the guys play. Other girls would watch the guys.
Well, I mean,
like,
I would watch both. Like, I watch, they have C9 as that Valorant team.
I'm not saying I wouldn't watch either, but, like, is there any general interest in that, though? Like, okay, let's say we had the male LCS.
There's a good amount. Like, there's a lot of esports orgs who've been doing that over the years. Like, CLG has been big in that.
They have their CLG Red team.
And Gen G.
Right? Yeah, Gen G has that too. Like, I think in other games it's different. Like if you're just on a league, I don't think that would work. But if you're on Valorant,
Valorant, CS:GO, Call of Duty.
Yeah. I just don't think it'd work for League, honestly. I just don't think there'd be enough interest, not enough money put into it. It just would be a freaking waste of time. Now I know now they're gonna do it differently. They're trying to do something with the girls. Because I'm not sexist. I don't care if girls play the game. Actually, more girls play. That's better for League.
I want to say been like what since 2013 is like I've just been like. Because I think it's cool, more diversity. Like, I've been just like waiting and seeing, hey, maybe this is a year that like some female player gets signed to like an amateur league team, but it's never happened. Besides, you had once with Remy.
Yeah, and then sadly, rest in peace, she passed away.
Yeah, and even then, people are still shitting on her in her grave.
Yeah, like,
and because she's transgender, people. Like, fuck, it just shows the community for you.
Well, the thing here is because a lot of people would say, "Oh, the girls are just worse at esports than dudes." It's not about. I mean, compared to how badly the guys play, I don't think the girls would be that much more polarizing to them. Guys, I'm just saying that. Like,
I mean, there aren't as many good female players for certain reasons, which I won't get into. But there's reasons and stuff. But
this is what I'll say. Like, if all the guys in the LCS are mostly bad outside of like the top tier organizations like Cloud9, TSM, Team Liquid, or Thieves, I mean, would the girls be that much worse than them?
No.
Like, I mean, it really wouldn't make that big a difference if we had girls playing. It really would, because the guys play like shit sometimes. So you tell me that the girls play be that much worse? That's what I would call bullshit.
Yeah, it's like there's more. Like, sure, there's might be not as many like good female players. Obviously, like it's mostly like male players that are good, but there's still good female players. It just depends. Like, obviously there are less of them though because of reasons. Like, for example, a lot of them spend way less time like playing the game. They play like 2 to 3 hours, most of them, while the men play like 8 to 12 or something crazy.
It could be that, or like the family that their family might not like support their League of Legends aspirations. So they
many
don't
reasons.
Give them a resource. There's a lot of reasons. I mean, it's the same thing with guys too. The same thing. It's just like if there was a point where like girls did start playing in the LCS, I personally wouldn't care because I think the guy players are also pretty fucking bad. So if there's girl players that are also pretty fucking bad, it's not gonna make that big a difference anyway. They would still go through the same shitty off seasons where they're not getting picked up. The same shit would happen. It's just like, but if you had a female only like league for the STEM, I just think personally would be no interest in it, especially for league overall.
Like the closest there has been in recent time is some like Brazilian support players, and most of them have honestly.
On yeah, I remember her. Yeah,
and another one, but then later on, they honestly just get picked by like an NA org as a substitute or streamer later on.
Like when you said Valorant and CS:GO, I'm like, yeah, that'd work because their games. It's weird how the other games work.
Yeah,
it's just they're more inclined to pick up girls. Though this game, because I'm not being sexist, this game is more inclined to pick up dudes. That's just how it works. There
needs to be just a small development league for female players, and then get them on like amateur or academy or LCS teams. There needs to be something like that in place.
Because I didn't really get the whole thing that Thorne said, and honestly, I don't really. I'm saying I don't care. I watch his videos from time to time. I don't think he's I don't think he's a bad person. The issue here is like if you're from.
I don't think he's a bad person. I just think he's a fucking idiot sometimes.
Well,
and
you know how like Nerdman has these weird takes. European people are just over. And
he's a bit homophobic, honestly. If you look at his old tweets,
it's just like people in Europe, from how I've interacted with a lot of them, they're just blunt but they think that's being real when no, you're just being a fucking asshole. Like, you can be blunt, but you can also be,
what I'll say is
decent
this,
human
though.
being.
A lot of people, shout on people like Monte over the years and all of them for, like, different stuff, but no, they're actually pretty good, and honestly, it's like idiots who, like, shit on them. They have, like, bad days, whatever, but Thorn is different. He kind of deserves, like, the heat he gets. Now, he did do a solid amount for esports, not as much as he says, though, not as little as people say, more in between, and so I respect him, and I watch the videos because I found him entertaining. He majority of his takes in, like, recent years, though, in, like, the past, like, 4 years have been pretty shitty, though, and yeah, he's just...
There was the one that I didn't agree with when he said Jackie Love wasn't a traditional AD carry. I was like, I don't think, no. It's because he didn't lay out the context of the reason why. Because he was basically trying to say Jackie Love wasn't a AD carry in the sense of, like, double lift, Uzi, reckless, but
I can see it.
He was. It's just that Rookie and the Shy were always the big performers.
Well, I think honestly, Jackie Love's more like an ADC. If, like, the Shy was an ADC, because he, like, goes for a lot of risky plays, he dies a lot, but it doesn't matter his deaths.
There's been takes he's had where I disagree with, and there's takes where I'm just like, okay, I 100% agree with that. That makes sense. But one of the things he did recently, with the people got mad about him because he did the whole Jat thing. I don't think he got Jat fired. I don't think he has that much influence, honestly. But, if a player says something to him, he has to understand that player is talking from just their personal point of view. That might not even be true, or I'm not saying it's wrong either, or it's right. It's just like when someone tells you something, it's from their personal point of view of how they view that situation, though, in their own personal mind.
Like, I'm not going to get too much into it. Just
it's just like I think he takes those ideal situations of one person saying something and he makes it the whole thing. Like,
overall though, as an esports person, I respect him to an extent. As a content creator, I respect him to an extent. But, I just had to, like, unfollow him and shit after all this shit.
Did he block you? Are you part of the big giant? You part of the big giant block list?
Nope. But because I blocked him first.
Oh, there you go. That's how you do it.
Just whatever. That was not good. He's not a nice person.
But yeah, like, dude, every day it's some I am Germ shit on Twitter. It's some fucking Thorn shit on Twitter. It's a lot of things. I'll listen to Monte Cristo. I think Monte Cristo is him and Doa have been my favorite casters for years. That's still my favorite. My favorite duo of all time. Monty and Doa. I wish they could come back and do it.
I Will Dominate nowadays.
But he's white.
What?
He's Spanish.
Yeah, what the fuck are you?
Oh god. Hey, okay. So before we get into our tier list for the LEC 2022 spring split, Warren, did you want to do anything this year? I know you wanted to do some LPL content last year, but you were too busy to do it. Did you still want to do that, actually?
Yeah, I'll be doing LPL content starting as soon as the season starts. But I'm only going to pay attention to, like,
top tier teams.
Top teams, because it's just way too many teams.
Okay, like, what do you consider a top tier team in the LPL? Like the top 8 would be like
top 8,
RNG, EDG, Pop.
I gotta see how certain teams do.
Did they make a video for IG or no?
Not yet. They said they're gonna do it for. I wish they would, honestly. Because, like, a top team in LPL would be LNG, RNG, EDG,
WE, RA.
Top, BLG,
Rogue Warriors.
Oh, fuck.
Are you doing a tier list, or like, are you gonna bring it up? I mean, when we do it, or?
Oh yeah,
I'll bring it up. I mean, I can bring it up tier.
That's because I want to say one thing before we get to the tier list is, the content on the channel is going to be, primarily this news video. So let's say randomly during the season, if like fucking Abadage joins Cloud9 as a mid laner, I do a news video on that, and you get the weekly recaps, like you guys have gotten them every single year. The weekly recaps. So let's say LCS would have starting, me, Warren, whoever's going to be here, we'll just talk about that week of the LCS, that week of the LEC. We'll do that until the season's over, until the regular season's over. We'll do our MVPs, MIPs, all pro teams. The same shit is going to happen. Podcasts, news, split weekly recaps, and that's it. Now, if Warren wants to add in LPL content, he'll just do it, send it to me, and then we'll put it up. But other than that, this is all we're going to do. All you guys
can't
really want.
believe CLG hasn't tried getting Jensen, but okay.
Jensen's like, I don't want to ruin my career. That's
Yeah,
also
for one,
true.
so it actually might not ruin him though, because he would actually fit into it. And their team is actually pretty good outside of fucking Palafox. And one last thing I wanted to say though about that stuff though, again, as I said earlier, Brazil League has pretty much done the only one. There's been like 2 female like supports who played a couple games, I believe, like or in preseason or so. Yeah, but then like soon after, like a year or a split or 6 months later, then they then just like sign with like an NA org and become either a substitute or a streamer. And I'm just saying, I think I don't want to really like shit on like Brazil or anything, but I kind of know why
No,
they
they're
do.
garbage.
In
They're
recent,
garbage.
no, well that, but also
No.
in just recent years, though, there's been, or in like recent time, there's been like a bunch in other games like mobile games or like Call of Duty. There's been like female esports players in Brazil who've been literally getting killed by others for just being female, by other male esports players in the league.
Good fucking God.
Yeah,
Jesus
so I don't
Christ.
blame them, but anyway.
Okay, guys. So, if you guys have been living under a rock, the LEC 2022 Spring Split will begin. It actually will begin when? Start date the 14th of this month in January. So you have literally one more week of the off season, and then it starts with the LEC on Friday. Actually, so right here, we're gonna start ranking the teams. Actually, let me make this a bit bigger, just like my wife said every single day.
Yeah, I don't keep track to when it starts. I always get surprised, like, oh yeah, it's starting soon.
Okay, so there's some interesting rosters this time around. Now, please keep this in mind, guys. If we have a team lower, it's maybe because we're not too familiar with the player, or maybe we just think their ceiling is not that high.
I think there's something wrong, MSK.
What is?
Well, I don't see H2K anywhere.
You're gonna make Rick mad at us, actually. Oh shit! Good God. Okay, so this is gonna be a tough one. Okay, we'll actually start with the more lesser known team. So we'll save Fnatic, G2, Vitality, Mad Lions, and Rogue for later. We'll save those 5 later. Let's start with Team BDS first. They're gonna have Adam, Syncroft, Nuclear Int, Xmatty, and Limit. Where do we think Team BDS is gonna place?
8th place.
Yeah, put them in C tier, but maybe.
Warren, Warren, which tier do you want them in? Do you want them in D tier?
C tier.
C tier? You think Nuclear Int and Adam will be good enough to get this team to maybe 8th place?
Let me see. Well, I don't think the other players like when you mean Limit is pretty good.
Solid.
Yeah, Limit is very solid and was like the 2nd best player on Schalke. Xmatty, now he did improve a lot this year. He's actually LEC ready now. Now a lot of that though was because of Target Moss. Because he played with him, who was amazing and helped with his aggressiveness. But he's still good. They have Grabs as a coach, obviously awesome coach, and I don't think their jungler is too bad. And then Nuclear Ink, I think, is very good. Just was given a shit team, and Adam is solid. Like, I don't think this is a bad team. I definitely think they're like more at the bottom, but I would say C still.
I think C tier is good for them. Okay, let's do. Okay, Team BDS is done. Let's do. Warren's gonna love this one. Let's do SK Gaming. Okay. They have most of the same roster. They have Jesus, Trees, Genax, Gilius.
I'm gonna put them B tier because I think I like Gilius a lot. I think if Gilius was on Schalke, they actually make playoffs.
Yeah, I like Gilius and Treats a lot, but I don't know about the other 3.
Like I like Genax. Genax
is good. Genax is a good player.
He's good, but I don't know if he's good enough compared to others. Are there?
Okay, we'll just get SK Gaming play because SK Gaming's not fighting for a title. They're fighting to make playoffs. Make playoffs.
I don't think Genax is good compared to the rest of the field, though.
He's proven it several times.
You really think that, man?
He's proven he can handle his own. But the thing is, it's not Genex I'm worried about. Jesu's not really that good of a bot laner.
Well, it was mostly him. I was talking about him, and I don't know too much about the mid laner. That's like the one guy that I didn't research.
But they have Treats, back support. I mean, everybody loved Treats. I loved him. I thought he was a fantastic player. But, like, how far can this... I mean, Treats alone got them to playoffs when they did make playoffs. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. And then you got Gilius, and then Genax did play some. He played a pretty good Jace. He played pretty good in the playoffs.
He played pretty good all year, honestly.
Yeah, he played pretty good all year. So I'm like,
C-tier?
I think they're B tier because a lot of teams did a lot of changes.
I mean, I'd put him in high C tier.
So they'd be right there.
Well, no, it's whatever you decide now, MSK, C or B.
I feel comfortable putting them in C tier. That's where I feel comfortable at. I think they're I think they'll be a solid team. I think they'll beat up any team that's worse than them, but top tier teams they'll struggle against. Actually, I think they'll beat up on Excel and Astralis and fucking whatever Misfits.
Yeah, no, but I think they can beat a team like Fnatic. Like
I think they can too. They can. I don't disagree.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think they're gonna beat like Vital. Maybe if Vital is not playing a good game, but
maybe if Perks just got sick. He just literally just got sick. Okay, SK Gaming and TBS are done. Let's do Misfits, a team that you guys have more praise for the team than I do. I mean, Neon's not that good. VTO, oh fuck, Jesus Christ. All they had.
Did anyone leave from their team?
Leave. Vander's a sub at the moment. They lost Kabe for Neon. VTO staying, and they have Shalatin because they had Razork and he's on Fnatic.
Shalatin's pretty good, I guess. VTO, if he can make a comeback, okay. Here it's awesome. Neon, I think Neon and Comp are basically the same now, kind of.
Neon is a super hard lackluster player. He is just not.
Yeah, I think they're basically the same. And then Mercer, I don't know too much about, but I'll take him over Vander and his. Just because, like, I think Vander, again, I thought he was great for what he needed to be in Rogue and this year in Misfits, but he's just like Han Sama now. He's a little too one-dimensional now with his age.
Where would you guys want to place Misfits?
I think they're B.
B tier? I mean, they have.
I put them in C, but
like, okay. So why I'm saying B is like let's look how much rosters got messed up. There's like no team is like.
You know what, Warren? We'll do it for you. We'll throw them in B tier just for Warren.
Oh no, I'm just saying. Let's look at it logically, right? Like a lot of teams aren't the same what they were. Like all the rosters are literally not the same.
Most of them are shuffled around. Yeah.
Yeah, like Selfmade's the only one left from his. Genax and Treats and like I think Genax and Treats are the only two left because they basically changed out all the others. It's like a lot of people got changed.
All right, so Misfits, I think they'll be a solid team because I mean they have shown throughout multiple splits they know what their players need, but like I don't. It's gonna be really wonky in the spring split, man. A lot of these teams are gonna be fucking fighting for like.
I mean, I have like hope in Misfits, and I want them to. It's just they're just inconsistent.
They're so inconsistent, dude. It's just fucking back and forth inconsistencies. All right, so Misfits, SK Gaming, TBS are done. Let's go on to do Excel.
Why do they still have a team?
We know all these guys. And they replaced their worst player with Finn. So
Finn is solid. Like, what do you mean? Finn's solid. He was actually like the best player on CLG. They should have kept him, but I guess he wanted out. He's actually a very solid top laner. He can sometimes honestly carry. But compared to the rest of the top laners, though, he's like 9th. So.
He's better than Price.
That isn't because LEC is good. They have good depth for tops, but no stars for top lane.
Sean, I'll ask you this. Do you think, because Krebs was basically a walking ward, he doesn't even count as a top laner. So is having Finn going to be that to put XL finally in the playoffs? Is that good enough to finally get him in?
No. What do you mean?
Is Finn your missing piece?
Saying that Marcoon, I don't like. Nuke Duck, why the fuck is he still playing? Patrick, I feel bad for you. Why the fuck aren't you just taking the NA money already? And then I don't really know much about the support. Nope.
No. Marcoon and Advian were with XL in the last split when they got them all their wins toward the very end. Remember? They
Oh yeah,
brought in the.
right. Oh,
I think this team will be.
so I have
honestly
like
B tier.
dementia.
Oh, you're fine. I think it'll be a B tier team actually.
Really?
I think it'd be an okay team.
Well, I'm
Like,
not saying the players themselves are bad. It's just compared to the rest and like just the team
compared to the
overall.
rest of the field, I mean,
and compared to their coach, and I honestly think they're bottom of the barrel.
they're bottom of the barrel. I hope not, dude. Because like Advian and Marakun came out swinging.
Well, look at the rest.
Split. Yeah. So we have
I'd
XL.
put D. And I
D
want them
tier?
to be D because I fucking hate this org, but
This org is
not for any other reason. They're just a boring org, and I don't like XL has a fucking team still over like H2K and stuff. Some like old org.
I'll say this: I don't understand how XL gets to have an LEC spot, but Carmine Corp is not getting one.
That or like any of the organizations they replaced over the years, like
All right, Warren, what do you think about XL? What do you think?
See, I think it depends on like if the teams play on a good day. Like I think the LEC is at its worst right now, honestly. But that's just my opinion.
It's just so hard to rank some of these guys right now because we know most of these players, but they're all shuffled around. And like maybe these shuffles are what these other orgs needed last year to fix their teams. Maybe. I'll never know. All right. So XL Misfits. Let's do Astralis actually. White Knight. Ooh, let's go.
Okay, so
D-tier?
Promise Q, honestly, one of the better supports in the league.
Now
okay,
it's
Sean. Sean's on cocaine.
Dodger, I think, is the best up-and-coming prospect right now. Zanzara, I mean, he's Russian, so he's
okay,
the best.
So Sean's basically saying they're D tier. Thank you, Sean. All right, Warren.
Who are we talking about? Astralis. I don't know. Like White Knight really performed really well, so I don't know. I'm gonna put them C though. Like that's what I'm saying. Like don't these teams and like Fnatic and G2. Like I won't.
White Knight, I respect, but right, and he did have his days, but Warren, look at all the other top laners.
But look what he had, dude. Like Jessica,
and what he still has.
Yeah,
now he
doesn't have that.
He didn't have Magi Felix. Now he's got Dajor.
Yeah, Kabe's basically the same these days.
Wait, come on, dude. Are you serious?
Who's the
Sean, are you watching the same games? Or are you watching LJL?
Kabe at least has a brain. That's what I'll say.
Okay, so let's C tier for Astralis. There's got to be one D tier team here.
Nope. That was the only D possible, unless he puts like Rogue in D.
Team BDS has to be D tier. I think you guys are capping with this team.
No.
Ay. Okay, so now we've eliminated all that stuff. I mean, guys, do it fair. If you're still watching, we can still shuffle things around. This is just getting the teams out of the way. All right, so let's do. Now we're on the big boys. Let's start with Rogue, actually.
B.
I think they'll be a bit worse than they were last year. I think it'll be B tier, honestly. I don't think there'll be anything. They actually, I think they downgraded in their roster potentially.
I think Larson regressed. Odoramne regressed. Comp isn't that good. Trimby.
Do you guys remember when Team Vitality? You guys remember when Team Vitality brought in Mowgli for 2019 over Kikis, and they completely just looked like dog shit? I think that's a huge possibility.
Mowgli was never that good. I don't know why they brought him in.
Well,
Malrain is solid, but I mean, he isn't that great.
I think the same might happen with Malrang. I don't know. Or Malrong. I don't know. But it's a possibility that happens because if he can't speak to them, that's going to be a huge issue. Like,
just the whole team regressed. Trimby's, I don't think is going to improve much more than where he's at right now.
Okay. He's an okay player.
He's good. Just I don't think him growing anymore. I think they have a
solid okay team that'll get them like maybe fourth place. Fourth or fifth place would probably put them in like C tier. Like, because Rogue lost, what's his name? Inspired? That was like the best player, honestly. And they lost Hansama, which is also like the best player. Like, wasn't Comp on Team Vitality and he got thrown onto their fucking academy team? Yeah, I'll be. Yeah, that's the part where they'll be at. I don't think they'll be as bad as these guys because I think Larson is good enough to not be as bad as these guys, but that's kind of where I see him. Now we have the top boys, the top dogs. Let's do top dogs and headlines.
Rogue.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I think you guys are sleeping on like at least Nah, and I'm not even trying to be biased right here. I think we're sleeping on XL and SK. Team BDS is gonna take time because the reason. Oh, here's why I'm saying like I'm looking at Finn.
So Warren basically wants this, guys. This is what Warren wants. This is
No,
what you want?
I just don't like. I even think Misfits like we've seen like what happens when teams stay together, right? Let's just use 100 Thieves, right? They only changed up
Misfits
one
stayed
piece.
together.
Huh?
Misfits
Yeah, that's
stayed
why
together.
I think they should be a little higher than this. And let's be honest, if they didn't lose that best of 5, they're moving on before Fnatic. And a lot of pauses too, which weren't
But
cool.
didn't they change like 3 players? How did they stay together?
For wait, which team are you guys talking? Which team are you talking about?
Oh yeah, that's right. I guess this is okay. I mean, I just don't know about like Rogue because I agree with Sean. I think they might be C because like I think Inspired was a lot of their like real firepower.
Inspired was a lot of you're right. That is true. And imagine this: you're swapping out that guy who can talk to you in the game when it matters for a guy that can't do it, and he has to actually learn to do that, and it's going to be harder with certain players. Like, okay, so we'll just settle this right now. All right,
I just can't believe Astralis isn't in D.
I was gonna put him in D. What are you talking about? This team's gonna do so fucking bad. Holy shit!
Yeah, I mean, I don't know these teams. Like, well, we're gonna do the rest of the teams. I'll explain the other teams. That's why.
Okay, so let's do Mad Lions. Mad Lions' roster is right here. This is why. Yeah, that's probably where I was gonna put
Reeker is great.
Here, okay, so they lost their best player in Humanoid, and Humanoid was a lot of the team's firepower. Kind of like how Inspired was a lot of the firepower for Rogue, Humanoid was that for Mad Lions as well as Kaiser. And without Humanoid, that's why Fnatic is power ranked to win the split, because they now taken Mad Lions' best player. Literally, Humanoid was their team.
But look how that happened. Look how that worked against G2. They took what they considered G2's. G2 took Reckless, and look how that backfired. So the same thing can happen. Because maybe Humanoid covered a lot of weaknesses. Maybe there were games where Carzy wanted to be the carry. You don't know like a lot of the dynamics. Also, I don't see them beat you because Arma until Fizachachi came in and did some like I don't know if he did some like sit down or psychological coaching or maybe in game coaching analytics. Arma was being mediocre at best. Like I would dare for any of you two to tell me that you had Arma top 5 top laner in LEC.
He was comfortable at number 6 for me.
Right.
Early on, like later in spring, he was, but then he started for some reason, like getting worse back to when at the start.
He played okay in spring. He played pretty well at MSI, and they just regressed all summer.
No, he was great at MSI. I would rank him next to Fudge, honestly, like near the top, because I really wasn't a fan of Khan and others there. Thought he played great there. I thought he played great near the end of spring, and like the second half of it, honestly.
This is just my thing. I think not having Humanoid is really going to hurt them early on. Or who knows, they actually might be D tier without having Humanoid. If you go back and watch Mad Lions games, literally look at what Humanoid is doing for them. He did a lot for them. This is also this is factor this in. It's also with rookie players who didn't know what the fuck they were doing. Now they don't have that. That's
I'll be honest, I'm not too high on Carzy either, so.
Well, no, they have Unforgiven.
I don't mind that because I wasn't the biggest fan of Carzy.
To be fair, they still have a Loye who's still a pretty good jungler. I mean, I don't know Unforgiven. I haven't seen him play, so I can't speak on him.
He's good.
Kaiser is like what, top 3, top 2 support in the LEC.
Yeah.
So I mean,
I would say he's honestly like the best.
He says
maybe
over K. All right, see it.
Well, I would say like let's see. Well, I mean, I would say he's consistently the best, like not the best at his peak, but just consistently. And then I would say it's Target Moss and then Hylissang.
Okay, so now we have that. Let's do now we have the big dogs with the big teams. Let's start with good old G2.
A.
Where is G2 landing at? A. Okay. Warren, where do you think G2 is gonna land at?
A.
A tier.
Thought they were
Okay.
overrated in 2020 and 2021. So before anybody says no, I'm not one of those people. I just think Target Moss is amazing. Broken Blade's amazing. Caps, as much as I say he's overrated, he can still be amazing. Yanko's amazing. Flacked, I don't know the most about, but I looked at his stats. It was okay. But you don't need like the best ADC as long as he has like hands and he's like solid and smart. Then it's
Literally,
fine.
if Flacked is as decent as a person in the LCS, they'll do just fine.
As long as he's like a Kabe, maybe a bit better than they should be like one of the best teams easily.
Like, because this is the thing, G2 doesn't need a player like Reckless. That's not what they need. They need someone who's going to be aggressive with Targamas. I think Targamas is good.
No,
I saw some of his games. I think Targamas is actually pretty good. Actually,
I think now they know exactly where they're gonna play through. They're gonna ignore bot lane and they're gonna play through top and mid. Come on, like if you think it's anything else, you're delusional.
No, I didn't say they're gonna play through bot.
No, but I'm saying like if anyone thinks that like this guy is probably a competent, he's probably a little bit better than let's say Jessica, which is not saying much, right? Probably. I need to see him before I can give him a higher rank. I'm sorry, but that's just I need to see at least 6 games, which is fair. So I'm not gonna put him above like Patrick or even Kabe. I want to see this guy Unforgiven. I need to see these players. I can't just say like the reason I'm giving my ranking is because I'm looking at the players we know. Like Targamas, I don't know this guy. I haven't seen him. I don't watch LFL. Not to be rude. Like,
didn't you see him before? He was there in the LEC before when he was on Giants. Remember?
I think a little bit, but I didn't watch EULCS at the time.
Oh, okay.
I didn't watch a lot of it.
Well, I can say he's amazing support. So, and he's pretty much also the reason why X-Mat is in LEC right now.
Yeah, because here's what I'll say. I think Broken Blade was literally one of the best top laners in the LEC last year. I'm glad he got on G2. I think that's going to be an upgrade over Wonder because Wonder was playing pretty bad last year. That's fine. Yankos and Caps, I'm not saying guys say they're coin flips, but they've had their really bad days, but the really good days look good. It's really hard to judge them. But I think if you just look at their top side, Caps, Yankos, and Broken Blade, that should be good enough to get them into at least top 4 material, right? The only issue is where would you rank Flacked at, or where do we call him? Yeah, it's Flacked, right?
So I'm gonna give him 6. I'm giving him 6.
Yeah. I will give him until week. How many? Yeah, week 4 is 6 games, like you said, right? So by week 4, we'll know exactly how he's gonna play for the rest of the year. So,
but
that's how I see it.
The reason I'm saying, I'm gonna disagree with Sean, not because I want to, but I'll dive more into the Fnatic and Vitality once we go in. But I have G2 as A. Like I think they won in the off season.
Oh damn! Now he's pulling a nerd man over here on the league channel.
Did you say you disagree with me?
You can't disagree with us, Warren. You don't get to disagree here. We have to agree with each other.
Oh, sorry. No, I just misheard.
No, I didn't disagree. I agree. That's like I said they won in the off season.
All right, Team Vitality. Where do you guys think they'll land at?
B.
Yeah, I'd say the highest B.
Okay, now let's go over the roster. So here's what I'll say. I know a lot of people are gonna say this is a super team, and yes, by name alone, it probably is a super team. But we have to count in recent performances. Alfari didn't look that good at Worlds. I think a lot of people are overrating how much he played good at Worlds. He really didn't play that.
And they're overrating Perks. They're overrating Selfmade. They're overrating Karze.
I think if all Sean is right. I think if all of their players fire at all cylinders, this team could win the split. I really believe they could.
It's just all name value.
It's just all name value that's carrying it. Alfari he was getting his ass handed to him by fucking Rascal. What the fuck?
I still think he'll be amazing, but I'll say he's like the second best top he'll be this year.
Well, let's be honest. They gave. I don't know about that, man, because they did beat them too. But so I don't know, like So like here's the problem with this team, right? I think Kaiser made Karze look really good.
I agree.
And if the synergy is not well, then that's why it's team B tier. Alfari can be stubborn and plays his 4 champs, which to me are GP,
Aatrox,
Kennen, Aatrox, Well, it's more, but no, he didn't play that much 8, but he played a lot of GP, Camille, Kennen. Those are his chance. Like he doesn't I didn't see him like whipping out like a Wukong or like a Gwen or like
He's
kind of like
one of
Ale.
those. Yeah, he's one of those win lane, win game players. If he loses lane, he just doesn't do anything. And if he wins his lane, he also really doesn't impact the map as well. That's the thing.
Also, like self-made, he's basically like an assassin. He doesn't play like
basically just Dardoch. That's what he is.
He's like
if
a
he
better
pops off,
Dardoch.
really,
He's a better Dardoch.
If he pops off, he looks great. But if he doesn't, he just looks like shit.
And
that's
Perks,
it.
We know what we're getting with Perks. So like the thing is,
0-10 Renekton.
I feel like he's trying. I think Perks, of course, had this in the making, right? Because Selfmade could have gone to any other team. He could have stayed on Fnatic. He could have gone to probably G2. But I'm sure that Perks had this in the making and was because he did this before with G2. Like he made a super team through G2. Like this isn't anything new. He's a smart guy. I give him that. But like the thing is like they need to find their identity within the first few games because it's
Here's what I'll say.
I think Alfar's gonna want resources. Perks is gonna want resources. Karzi's gonna want resources. So who's getting the shaft?
They're gonna someone's either getting the shaft or there's gonna be games where they literally have to alternate being the carries. Or this is what I'll bring up is if you look at it just by recency, actually you can say recency bias, but it's a lot of games of recency bias, so it's a little bit more fair. Perks did not play that well all last year. Like I love Perks to death. He's one of my favorite players ever, but he did not play that well all last year. He did not play well. So you're looking in the field of millionaires that the LEC has. Is he even better than like Nuke Duck? I don't know. That's the thing with Team Vitality's roster is that if all the players play up to the level that we know they can play at, of course it'd be a top 3. It's going to be a top 3 team. I think it'll be a top 3 team regardless. But I think Spring Split will not really be as complementary to how good the team might be because, Spring Splits are always kind of wonky with, like, who can pull it together at the last minute and then also who can, like, gel together instantly. Karzi, we have to see him without Kaiser because I think Kaiser did make a lot of what Karzi was doing good. Like, a lot of the games that Mad Lions lost was because of Karzi also playing bad.
He has good mechanics, no brain.
So, and that's my thing. Like, Lebrov, I thought Lebrov was really underrated. This guy was actually pretty darn good, actually. But, with the Team Vitality roster that was also dog shit, too. So, this is the thing. I think the team will do well, but there's a lot of... It's not like a lot of ifs. No, that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of ifs into this, right? If Alfari can play at his peak, if Selfmade plays at his peak, if Perks plays at his peak. A lot of ifs.
And then Nuke Duck's gonna take another break after he plays shit for the split, and Magic Felix will come back in again.
I have a question. Are you gonna
Fuck
do?
You.
No, I don't like guys in bed.
I have sex with women
and men.
And
just
animals.
Women.
So, are you gonna do like
animals.
Your team, the 8 teams you think are gonna? Because wait, is it 8 or 6 teams that make split? Which 6 teams at the? Are we done? When you're done, are you gonna pick which 6 teams you think are gonna make playoffs?
Fuck, I can't. Fuck. We could try. I mean, I think we might know them.
I can do it. Fnatic, G2.
Yeah. Let's finish off Fnatic first. So we're comfortable putting Vitality in V tier, right?
Yeah.
All right, so let's do Fnatic. What?
Yeah, I agree with Sean again.
No way. No, they literally have the best team on paper.
The drama with Upset and Razork. I don't know, man.
They literally have the best team on paper. They literally have the best team.
I think they do.
Outside of Wonder, he played bad. Recency buy, he played bad. Outside of that, they literally have the best team on paper.
I think they downgraded, though. I think Football was better than Razork in the jungle.
I think they can be. I think they can be by like summer, but I just think that it will take a little bit in spring.
Right now, this is going to be on record. You guys are telling me right now to my face, before the LEC 2022 Spring Split starts, Fnatic is not an A-tier team.
Well, here's the thing. In these tier lists, I don't have many teams being like the very top. I would only have like one. So, but I would have like Vitality and Fnatic as like super high B tiers. Pretty much, that's my logic instead of like low A's.
I mean, because like I got to think about Humanoid's performance at Worlds. Like if LNG has a competent mid laner, thank God they got Doinby now. They get out of that group because.
But this is gonna be regional. It's not Worlds,
No,
right?
but like think about that. Like the thing is that also Humanoid had some games where like they just didn't. I mean, Wonder. I don't like. I'm thinking about the way Wonder played in the playoffs as well.
They played really bad. Like
I'm thinking about how.
Here's what I'll say. Razork, he looked like he didn't look good. Razork did not look good in the Misfits best of fives when it mattered for them to get to Worlds.
Right.
Like and Wonder also did not look good if we're basing on his play of last year. But you still have one of the best mid laners. You still have one of the best bot laners. You still have arguably the best support. So, and that's my thing, is like, this is my personal opinion. I think Fnatic is A tier, honestly. But then again, they could also not play very well and just be B tier. They could be.
Well, this is what I'll say. If you made an S tier thing, I would put G2 in that, and then I would put Fnatic and Vitality in A.
I don't think any team will be S tier.
Then B tier, I would do Misfits and like, Misfits and Mad, and then like C tier Rogue, SK, XL.
You guys really think G2's gonna be bounce back?
MPDS, and then I would put D tier as Astralis.
You really think G2's gonna bounce back this year?
Yeah. Because...
Yes.
I mean,
sorry,
I'm not disagreeing. They definitely have the players to do it.
I think they'll at least make Worlds.
Okay, like the reason why I don't know. I feel like a lot of the teams, like I feel like the LEC's at their weakest right now, personally. With a lot of the top players coming to NA, which defeats the whole purpose of that whole EU pride, EU all the way, yeah, sis boom ba. Like I think that meme is now dead. Like they're like, you know what? I don't think I want to have mellow yellow soda. I think I want to have Mountain Dew in America. You know, like they're coming over here for Chick-fil-A, not for Church's Chicken anymore. So like,
God, Jesus Christ.
Like so.
Okay.
And like my thing is, I'm looking at the teams, and I think EU's gonna do bad at MSI. I don't think they're gonna do good this year.
We're thinking way too far along, right?
I'm already gonna say it now.
Warren,
I don't see
it's too far along
see
thinking.
EU and NA doing good. I don't see it. Sorry.
That's every year, dude. That is literally every year. It's not a surprise.
And also, I'm just saying. I'm not saying like G2 will win like both splits or even one of them. I'm just saying this. I'm just saying there, because not the best teams don't win
Sean,
like the splits.
I'm agreeing with you. I'm not disagreeing. I'm saying when I mean that they're the worst. Can you look at LEC right now and pick out more than 3 teams to go to Worlds?
Guys, we haven't seen these guys play yet.
Not really. No. I wasn't disagreeing with you, Warren. I was just making another point. I was just saying that.
MSK.
Yes.
Think about what we had from the spring and summer and all of those games, everything. Can you really, with these new rosters, can you really look right now and confidently pick 3 teams that you could just say, I want to send from the LEC to Worlds? I know I can't. I'm sorry.
Well, I can't do that right now based off of this year of play because we haven't seen them play right now. If I did it just off last year,
but considering all the roster shuffles and everything.
Yeah.
Like the only team that looks like because I would say G2. I'm not gonna say Fnatic because Epset didn't play at Worlds, so I don't know how and that's a fair statement to say right there. Vitality probably. I would only say probably if we had to base off the players on their team, I would say probably it'd be G2, Vitality, and Rogue for me because I think Mad is gonna have a little dip. If we had to think, I'm talking about MSI. Let me talk about MSI.
Just for MSI. So like the team to win the split.
MSI definitely G2 is making it. I would be confident in G2 going to.
I would love that. I would love if they win another title. I get another G2 icon for myself. I would love that.
I was gonna say MSK though, just because I'm putting them in the highest tier doesn't mean like I think they could win like both splits or even one of them. I'm just saying, like at their peak, I think they're the best team, honestly.
No, dude, I don't disagree with you. I don't. It's just if we're just basing it off the spring alone for the team to win this is their own MSI. This is the team that wins
Yeah,
MSI.
just for MSI. Sorry, just for.
Yeah,
And
I'm
the reason
saying who I think has the better
best
chance of
chances are
winning.
like Fnatic, G2 Fnatic,
No
and
way.
Vitality.
No way.
Really?
No way. I'm sorry. I still.
Again, if you made I'm not saying that G2 is an S tier team. I'm just saying if you made an S tier for this, then I would put G2 in that, and then I would put Fnatic and Vitality
The
there.
reason why I didn't make an S tier is because we haven't seen these teams play, and I can't say anything.
Oh yeah, none of them are S tiers. I agree, and you know they're weaker this year, and like last year, I'm just saying it just to organize it better. I would put G2 in S tier, Fnatic and Vitality A, Misfits and Madden B, Rogue SK and like XL C, and BDS, and then just Astralis in D. That's how I would have it.
The reason I'm saying I'm going with G2 because I think they have the most well-balanced team. You have a consistent jungler, you know. You have Broken Blade, who has been in international performances with TSM going. Even though they played 0-6, he was probably him and Speaker were the best. I'm going off of that. I'm going off of Cat's performance. So now, the thing is, G2 did a good... Why I said G2 won is because Caps, Broken Blade, ankles can be like Flak, Targamas. Here's what you guys can fix. Because they have experience. Like, I can't, like... You really think Alfari's going to listen to Perks every time? Or, like, Himona is going to listen to Upset and Hylissang all the time?
So you're basically saying now that G2 is going to have newer guys on the roster who are quote-unquote more submissive, they'll be able to have a much better team.
That too, yeah.
I mean, it's not submissive. It's like...
I would say submissive. You know, more teammates that are willing to
and like
play the team way.
Wonder might, you know, just because of his name.
Like, people just have a way of thinking about the game, but when you're young, well, because I don't know how young. When you're not,
I mean, Target Moss isn't that young. He's like 22 or something.
Right, but when you're not as LEC experienced, you're gonna take people's advice that's been to the international stages and have been far in the playoffs and have won championships domestically. You're gonna take their advice. And that's why I can confidently say G2. Like, I don't want to say G2, but, like, I feel like there's just too many things. There's going to be an identity problem with G2. That's what I see already. Like, because Selfmade wants to carry. Perks wants to carry. Alfari wants to carry. You know? Karzi wants to carry. LeBron is the only one that can't carry because he's support.
Yeah. Like, the team with Team Vitality is, I think they're going to be they're not going to be as good as people make them out to be, at least right now for the spring split. That's the thing, is depending on how high their ceiling actually is, they can either be the best team or potentially be the worst team, honestly, because there's a lot of strong personalities on the team for Team Vitality.
And let's be honest, right? Outside of VIT and MSI, what super team has won Worlds? Not one. Not one has won Worlds. Not one. Like, people have this asphyxiation that you need to have. Like, honestly think you just need 2 stars on your team and then complementary pieces. You don't need a full team. Like,
for me, like, if you want a super team, just have 3 really insane players and have the other guys just be like facilitators on your team. You know, like, you have that for G2. You technically have, I would say, super players right now based off their recent play. Well, these guys not their recent play, but Broken Blade played really well all last year. Like, he played outstanding. But Fnatic has the best bot lane and are the best mid laner. Like, how is that not going to be impactful? They have the quote unquote 2 most impactful positions.
On paper, they're the best. I'm just saying, as a team, I don't know if they'll play the best.
The reason I say that is because Razork's never played with Humanoid, and so the only people that's played with each other is
Upset.
Upset.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Razork's gonna have to fit now, and Humanoid is basically capped 2.0, just a little bit, uses his brain a little bit better. And what I mean by brain, he's more 60-40, not 40-60. Like, Razor's gonna have to go, I don't know, figure out. That's why I don't like these super teams. I don't. I personally don't. So, but That's
All
just
right,
my
so
opinion.
where would you guys have who's making playoffs for the LEC 2022 spring
G2,
split?
Fnatic, Vitality, Misfits, Mad, and it would basically be a dogfight between those. I would say
Rogue
maybe.
and Excel, or these three right here, right? These three.
I'd say maybe it could be like. Even
Okay.
though I hate New Duck right now and I hate the organization, I'd say maybe XL, just like not because they deserve it, just because they would squeak in from some like magic, just because of the other teams.
I'll ask Warren. Do you think Excel finally makes the playoffs this year?
No.
Oh my god, that
Uh,
is cursed.
I mean, I don't know why you have BDS and fucking D tier. They should be in C with those
I don't think.
three.
I don't generally put them
Put
in A,
them in there.
honestly.
Come on, MSK.
Oh my
Well,
god.
I'll tell you who I got making playoffs.
Yes.
I have G2. I'm gonna even say I'll say G2 for sure. Vitality. I think Rogue. Misfits. Fnatic. And then probably I'm gonna go wild here.
What? You're not gonna go with Mad?
I don't think they're gonna be a good team, man. I don't think that.
I don't think they're gonna be a great team, but like
I think they'll be an okay team.
I think they'll be good enough for.
I'm gonna put
six.
SK. I'm gonna put SK as the sixth.
This
Okay.
man is dying. Who's paying you an SK
Like,
game
I
award?
agree with you. Armu isn't that good, right? Like, and Snyder was sorry, what's his name again? Fuck. Oh wait, never mind. I forgot he's gone. Karze's gone, right?
Right.
They have. Yeah.
But no, well, Unforgiven's good. Reeker's good. Yoya's good. Kaiser's good.
See, the thing is that I think Aloye, Armut, and Kaiser will be good enough, even if the other two suck, to get the team at least in the playoffs.
No, but they don't. Reeker is good. He was looked at by a lot of teams.
And I mean, I actually agree with you guys about most of your rankings. I would have G2 Fnatic, Vitality, Misfits, Mad. I'd have Excel over Rogue. I just don't think they actually made any significant improvements. I don't think they did.
If Marcoon and Advent have like another pop-off season and then they got Finn. Okay, and again, I'm going off of history. We know what we're getting with Treats and Jezu, right? Let's say I'm not a diehard SK fan. We know what we're getting with Treats and Jezu. Genax stepped up. Gilius is actually good. He's not bad. I have no idea what Schalke was thinking. Or I don't know if Dylan Falco was just having a dildo while he was doing his analytics on the games.
Maybe.
But
listen, if they had like Comp and like Reeker instead, then I would agree that they would make playoffs.
But the thing is like
Treats alone got them to playoffs last.
That's what Treats alone with Tinks that wasn't working. So like Gilius and like I've seen the Saturius guy. I was watching his stream. He's a pretty good player. He played for Misfits Premier, I believe. So he's not a bad player. So the only question mark I have is Saturius. Because I know Certus. I'm getting because I know what I'm getting with the other four players. That's what I mean. Like I don't know.
That's my thing. Like, dude, I believe I think Trees is a fantastic support player. Yeah. I think he's great.
And like also the language barrier, like Rogue has to deal with Malrong, right?
That's why I said I don't think Rogue is gonna make.
I don't think it'll make playoffs.
Over them. I think that's why I had XL over them.
And then if we look at XL, if we were to have a head-to-head, XL versus SK, you really think XL is beating SK? Come on, man! Like, don't even cap. Don't even cap.
Now, okay. Now that they have Finn and not fucking walking Ward, maybe. But and maybe you can still get that edge to XK Gaming too. Like, that's the thing. I think you're right. I think Warren. Like, I think it's a tie between these guys who get into fucking playoffs. I don't think
like they're mid or ADC.
I just really don't think Rogue will be that good as a lot of people make it out to be. They like literally they only have.
They won't. They could be like later on, but not to start. I think.
I don't think the spring split will be very favorable to Rogue.
No, neither will I think so. With Fnatic.
They literally lost the key pieces that actually just made them strong. Odoamne was not making them strong last year, especially in the spring too.
What are you talking about? He had the best Jason.
No. No, Warren. That was our moot. That was our moot, alright? Then it was Odoamne.
Okay, so here, if there's a tie between like Mad Lions or like SK Gaming to get in fucking the playoffs, I guarantee you SK Gaming fucking gives Mad Lions fucking Wukong or some shit, have Arma pop off or some shit.
God, it's just I'm sorry, I don't like their mid and ADC. I think in summer, but I just feel like XL, even though I don't like their team much or their organization, will just squeak by.
I think this is a split they squeak in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Barely by beating SK Gaming in a tiebreaker.
And I think Warren is underrated mad hard.
I think just the 3 key pieces that we know are decent and good enough will get them into playoffs.
Pull up Matt's team, and I'll break down why. Pull up Matt's team. Okay, so Elioya and Kaiser are what we know. I have no idea on Reeker, and Unforgiven used to actually play on SK Prime. So yes, I know a little bit about him. Yeah. I watched.
Was he good when you saw him?
Yeah, he's not bad. He's definitely not a bad player.
Okay.
SK Prime was not. But the thing is that I don't think Armad is as good as we like. Armad's spent like the thing is, what have we noticed with each year at LEC? People start being less afraid of G2 and less afraid of Fnatic. Like before, it used to be G2 versus I don't know Astralis or one of the lower teams, automatic win. Now it's like G2 versus BDS. Maybe BDS has a 50% chance. They lost Humanoid. They lost Karzi. Karzi did have some pretty good games. I'm going off of what they have.
Okay.
And if I have only Kaiser and Arma and I don't know about this Reeker guy, I'm sorry, but Sean, you have to say you need 6 games. I need 6 games out of a lot of these teams.
I'll put it this way for you though, Warren. All right, Fnatic was really considering doing Reeker instead of Humanoid.
I mean, but Humanoid was still the top. But the thing is like think about the whole Reckless situation. It's like these players are cheaper too because they're instead of paying them like millions or pounds or whatever it is, right? Because I don't know the currency.
A lot of euros.
Euros, right? Who's cheaper, Reeker or Humanoid? At the end of the day, like they're safe. It's a business. At the end of the day, as much as
the thing here is all European teams are going to be doing that, just recycling to try and find the next like fucking
and they want to save money. Like at the end of the day, it's a business, and they want to save money and still.
Well, listen, Dajor is gonna be the best mid laner this season.
Oh, hey, dude, I'm excited for all these new players coming in. That's the thing with the LEC. Like, I don't agree with them always changing every single time. But hey, you get new players, you get new exciting storylines. I mean,
when I say weak is what I mean is that so much reshuffling. And what I mean by weak, I don't mean as like. I feel like the region's going to be a little weaker only because these players are going to need time to develop. And we see them. That's why I'm like, the region, I don't think these are bad players. I mean, like, it's a lot of question marks on a lot of these teams. And that's a fair assessment. And I'm going off of the players we know. So, like,
okay.
I don't see Mad. I'm sorry, I just don't see. I need 6 games out of. Like, who knows? Team BDS might go from being bottom.
And dude, here, that's the thing, is that a lot of teams are talking about their scrims right now. I don't give a fuck what happens in scrims. All I care what happens on stage. I don't give a fuck what happens in scrims. Stage games are what matter. That's all that matters, you know? Like, right now, a lot of teams are going to be in their little honeymoon phases, you know, and they're going to be like, oh, yeah, we're going to win everything. And then when shit hits the fan, you see a player fucking roster moves or some shit like that. But, yeah, guys, I just wanted to make sure that I bring you guys this. We're just ranking the LEC 2022 spring split teams, actually. You know, just kind of want to tell you guys, you know, what's going to be going on. Tomorrow, or when you watch this today, potentially, if you watch this on the replay, we're going to be doing this for the LCS teams as well. and we'll be talking about that probably a little bit more than this because, the LEC is going to be a little bit more. The LEC right now just a little unknown, but we know a good amount about it as well. Just wanted to let you guys know we just took a little bit of a break during the offseason because you guys know I am very, very busy, and I love League of Legends, but when it's the offseason, I take advantage of it because league season starts at January and doesn't until the end of November. So, you get September off too, but other than that, it's year round. And lock-in. And let me see when the lock-in will begin. The lock-in is going to begin for the LCS very, very soon. It'll actually begin, I think, next week, actually.
Yeah, I think around, mid-January or so.
Oh, my goodness. Leaguepedia, what are you doing?
Doesn't the regular season start, the first day of February?
For the
lock-in's January 14th. I looked at it.
Yeah, mid-January.
Okay, yeah. So LEC and lock-in for the LCS begin on the same day. That's crazy, actually. Okay, I feel it. I got it. So yeah, we literally have this is the last week. Yeah, this is our last week break.
We have 12 days.
Yeah, then we're just right back into it. And I've enjoyed my break. I'm fine. But League is very, very grinding when you're watching all these pro games doing content based around them. It's just a lot. But you guys know, if you guys want to ever visit my main channel, links down below if you guys want to come talk to me over there. But I have to say before, thank you, Warren. You're a great guy. Fucking bastard. Oh, dirty bastard. You have podcasts on here. The Cloud9 podcast will always be a thing. Then you also have the split weekly recaps when the season officially starts.
No,
I won't be doing that with lock-in. Lock-in doesn't need that. Lock-in doesn't really need that. Lock-in can be talked about in this format. But when the split actually starts for the LCS, and I'll do that. And if there's any other news that'll come out, like maybe Sven goes and joins fucking, I don't know, 100 Thieves or some shit, then I'll do that kind of video. So or if Warren wants to drop LPL content, then I'll let him do that as well.
Yeah,
so.
and it's just mostly the matches of the week because there's 16 teams.
And no one's watching OMG versus fucking.
Oh, OMG made the playoffs. What are you talking about?
Oh, my bad. Wrong team. No one's going to watch fucking
V5.
Rogue Warriors versus... Well, they have Rookie now. Hey.
Oh, Lord, I saw that.
Hey, I'm definitely going to watch Ninja in Pajamas.
So no one's going to be watching Rogue Warriors versus Ninjas in Pajamas. Ain't nobody trying to watch
nobody's going to watch Ultra Prime. So or Weibo, the new team, Weibo.
Weibo's going to have the Shy in Sword Art.
God, isn't Weibo Weibo, whatever,
they're basically Sooning. They're basically
isn't it big social media thing or?
Yeah, it's a big social media. It's
we have to cover
YouTube,
BLG
basically.
games. We have to cover BLG games.
That's what I'm saying. BLG games, RNG games, because BLG versus RNG is gonna be a hype matchup.
That's gonna be a banger, dude.
Okay, so I need to cheer for the Chinese teams that are the less propaganda like Weibo. Okay, so Invictus is one. I can't cheer for FPX because of that.
But yeah, I wanted to make sure I give you guys this level of content before we start the season. So I know we tried to experiment with that last year. We have 2 separate episodes for LEC and LCS. I don't know if it's going to happen this year, honestly, because I'm trying to save my time a lot in some areas and do a bit of the things on my main channel. We'll still probably combine LCS and LEC stuff. It just depends on what's the best way of I can deliver the content to you guys. We'll maybe try it for maybe we'll do this for week 1s of splits beginning. We'll do 2 different episodes, and then for the end we'll do 2 different episodes to kind of at the start see what we have for LCS and LEC, and then at the end we'll do it. But during the middle part of the seasons, we could just do them both combined. So that's what I'll do. Is we'll do LCS and LEC episodes separately at the beginning part of splits, and at the end we'll do separate episodes. But during the middle part of the season, we'll do them just all as one, because this year I'm trying to save my time on a lot of things, and you guys only really watch a certain amount of content on this channel anyway. You only watch the news videos, the podcasts, and the fucking recaps we do every single year for the splits between LCS and LEC. So that's what I'm going to be giving you guys, because that's the only thing you're watching you like, so that's all you need.
And make sure to follow our podcast with Thorin, where we talk about a hatred for females.
Okay, what else do you guys want to bring up before we head out of here, actually?
Well, we'll get to see in LCS the return of Bjergsen. So
dropped your dildo or some shit?
Oh yeah.
It sounded like it. That or is his phone case.
This is my phone actually. That fell.
Hey, let's talk about you know how. You know, I don't want to bring it up actually because he said he watches.
Good God, holy shit!
Yeah, well,
So,
we get to see the return of Bjergsen, and
mhm,
I think that this is going to be another exciting season for LEC. I think LEC is going to be more exciting. I
mhm.
like to see the new faces. I like to see the new faces too for LCS as well. A lot of new faces, new different direction how they're going with the teams as well. So
Yeah.
that's all I gotta say. I think we should. I think I wouldn't be surprised if records for each region. I'm talking about LCS and LEC.
Hmm.
If like we see that a lot of teams are fighting for the eighth spot, you know, because of like three-way ties or like six, you know, because you know NA is 8 teams and EU is
Spring for LCS is 6 teams actually.
they changed it again.
No. For spring, it's always just been 6. It's only
Oh,
just
so
this one
yeah,
where it's
so I
8.
wouldn't be surprised for like there's gonna be teams on both regions where like there's a three-way tie or something for the sixth spot. I wouldn't be surprised.
Dude, you know me. I would love best of threes, but Riot's like it's not good for the viewers. Sure, whatever. You know, the best regions in the world play best of threes. It's whatever though. You know, fucking hell. Western viewers and their fucking short TikTok attention span they have nowadays with these people. Good lord. But you guys know that's pretty much it. You know, the channel grew a good amount in the off season. It always does. You know, but if you guys are obviously lurker whenever you catch these podcast episodes, actually, make sure you subscribe, like, comment, do all that stuff. You know, I've been watching League for so long. I love covering it. You know, there were some pieces. Yeah, I love the game. I'll always cover it. You know, that's why there's a second channel for this, because people said, "Why don't you have a second channel for like your pop culture stuff?" I don't need that. I need this has to be separate because this is completely different from what we do over there. This
Like,
literally
pop
has to be
culture is like
separate.
the same as movies and stuff and comics. It's all the
Yeah,
same.
I
Like,
would
this
put.
is
I
more
would make a.
different.
Yeah, I would make a second channel for that. That's just wasting my time.
Yeah, and if you haven't, if anybody didn't know yet, yeah, we do like late night streams, sometimes chill streams over there, and most of the time he plays League. So if you want to watch him int, then that's fun in
Hey,
League.
last time you guys saw me play, I started getting my mojo back, so I'm gonna start
And then
doing
you
that
lost because
again. I
your
won the last
teammates were
game.
inting.
You're
To be fair,
terrible.
no, that last game I carried that whole night of games. No one can. I literally was popping off. I was basically like the god of Faker. I was literally popping off hard.
Yeah, get better CS numbers.
Hey man.
Yeah.
But overall, guys, you know, I just want to let you guys know what's on the channel. So tomorrow, if you guys are watching this tomorrow, if you're watching this right now, if you're watching, we'll have an LCS episode. Actually, I want to make sure I just get that out of the way first. Make sure you guys have some stuff to watch up here. You know, hope you guys had a great New Year's, a great Christmas. You know, just make sure you guys had a great happy holidays. I don't
And one last thing I'm gonna say.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, so, Jesus fuck. Okay, I lost. Okay, yeah, I'll say, unless you are either French, Adam, or a certain person at H2K. All right, if you doubt fucking Upset, you're gonna look stupid.
That's why I said Upset is literally the best bot lane. That's the thing. Oh, yeah. Team PDS versus Fnatic. Upset versus Adam. That's going to be a spicy matchup. Dude, that's going to literally break the viewership, essentially. Maybe. About the drama that they've had, actually.
That's and he's going to make Adam look like a bitch. Unless BDS's teammates like carry him. That's the only way how, you know.
How much is Adam Upset paying you for him to suck his strong?
I mean, Fnatic have the best bot laner.
Yeah, well, that's what I asked about everybody from France sucking off Adam.
Okay, fun fact. What if... Okay, what happens if BDS beats Fnatic, though?
That, well, it won't be because of Adam, I'll say that.
You see this guy? I like how you play that around. Like,
yeah, I said before you asked that, unless his teammates carry him.
Oh my god, okay, man. Like, honestly... I wouldn't even. Here's why I wouldn't even root for Team BDS. Their logo is garbage. It's like Geico. Like,
well, it's like one of those hipsters who does like design nowadays for websites.
The logo, honestly, Sean, the logo looks like something from like if you're gonna get health insurance.
You know, it looks like a website logo from some hipster these days.
That's my thing. Is like I don't, guys, with the LEC teams, it's always so wonky about how they play. It's not about how they play. It's like how the players themselves mesh in the teams. You know, because last year nobody thought Hero was gonna pop up as hard as he did, and
he did.
he didn't even get All Pro nominations.
Yeah. Well,
Wonder
I did because I
made it.
actually watch all the leagues besides
Dude,
Vietnam because I can't find an English stream for
what's
that.
crazy? Wonder made All Pro team over Hero. That's ridiculous.
Wait, who did?
Remember how they had the fan vote for
Wait,
the All
Wonder?
Pro teams and it was all G2 players? Remember?
Oh,
Yeah, Wonder made it, dude.
fuck that.
Jeez, dude. Like, I just don't get it, honestly. With some people.
Yeah.
Someone could run it down all year in front of your face, play like complete dog shit, and then still make an all-pro team. That's how you know the fans don't watch the fucking game. That's how you can tell fans don't watch the games. I know it in my brain because I'm a fucking genius, obviously.
No, you're not. Stop.
Thank you. I'm glad Warren's on my side. Fucking bastard. But if you guys want to hear Warren's takes on the LPL teams, he'll send me some stuff when he does LPL content, and he'll have me throw it up. You know, it's always something to have here.
Yeah, I might start my channel soon on that.
But the only reason why, dude, I can't do LPL contests is that's just way too much shit. It's just.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's more like if someone wants to join, because I don't see anyone really like with all like the league content. Outside of Ashley Kang talking about like Korea and China, there's not really someone that talks about like I'm talking about a Western person talks about like.
I will dominate.
Yeah, but I don't care about. He's a simp.
What?
I don't mean as
as
for women, but like he plays to be a tough guy. He's not a tough guy. If I ever saw that guy, I'd slap him.
No, he doesn't play to be a tough guy. He's just comedic. That's all.
He's not comedic. He's corny as whatever.
Well, if you don't find him funny, that's fine. I'm just saying he's not serious at all.
Hey man. I am Germ said there's gatekeeping in esports, so I'm gonna gatekeep you guys. You guys can't be part of this channel anymore. Fuck you guys.
I am Germ. I'm telling MSK. If I ever come to Cali and I see that man, he better have security around him because I'm literally gonna walk up to his face and punch him. Like I'm literally gonna do that.
Wait, who?
Warren, please don't hurt people.
Who are you gonna punch?
I'm gonna walk up to I am Germ and I'm gonna punch him in the face.
For what?
Hey, don't say off this. Let's just have off.
I mean, he's a bit annoying. He has kind of a punchable face, but there's no reason to punch him.
I think Warren would. Dude, you don't know you New Yorker people.
I would actually. You're right, Sean. You're right. Using my hands would get dirty. I'll have a bat and swing it across his face.
What the fuck? No, listen, he does have a punchable face, but what did he ever do to like get punched by you though, or hit by a bat?
We'll talk about it in the back room. It's fine, you know. It's,
oh, okay.
It's something.
He's one of those like idiots who just like links their shit everywhere.
No, we'll talk about it after. It's fine. Trust me, we'll talk about it. MSK can give you the rundown. So.
Okay.
Yeah, like I've seen some of his videos before. It's just not my kind of person I watch.
No, there's better. There's that Tim guy does a good job. Outside of the
there's this new guy in my recommended feed breaking down like the new TSM Asian players that are coming over. I don't know if you guys seen his channel. He's just a decently small guy actually, but he's been doing a pretty good job at it. Oh, dude, I gotta bring up his. I don't know his name because I haven't subbed to him.
No, I know the mid laner. I like their mid laner. I just don't know like anything about their support.
That's the thing. We'll talk about TSM tomorrow, but there's been one guy. Oh, I found him right here. Here we go. I found him. He actually has 100 subscribers. I wish he had a Twitter so I could contact him.
Can you screen share it?
Yeah, do it right now. Let me show you.
I mean, I forgot his last name, but that Tim guy, you know who I'm talking about? Tim guy.
This guy's been breaking down a lot of the new TSM players because he watches the LPL too.
Okay, Kid Corey Vera. Okay, I'll sub.
He's not a bad. I've seen some of his stuff. He's been talking about how good Kiadu actually is. I talked to him, but he doesn't fucking have social media for some reason or some shit. He doesn't put it in or anything.
Yeah, so, it's only Kia. Is that the support or?
I think Kiadu is the mid laner. Actually.
Oh, sorry. I misheard it, but no, yeah, the mid laner I really like. He's great, but I just don't know anything about their support.
All right, guys. Well, I will see you tomorrow. Actually, we're going to be doing an LCS version of this, which is going to be a hell of a lot because a lot of people are putting Cloud9 as their second place team for spring, and that might be a little too high for them. But I don't know. Who knows? how I feel about tonight.
Um,
All right, guys.
yeah.
See you later, and good night, and peace out.